Welcome to Distortion Analysis, where each episode we discuss various topics, music news, bands on tour, and share album reviews, all focused on heavy metal. Here are your hosts, Sean McKnight and William Rizzo. All right, and we are back here for episode 5 of the Distortion Analysis.
Numero cinco.
Here with my co-host, William Rizzo. And welcome back for that. And have you had a chance to listen to Zeal and Ardor at all?
I haven't.
Oh,
I've been checking out your the other stuff that you sent that was
okay.
going to be the subject of a future
Right. I
our
got you.
next episode.
Okay.
Which was quite astonishing to listen
Yep.
to.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Astonishingly
that.
good.
Yeah, we have that coming up here. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right. Well, when you get a chance,
Yep. I
don't
got it
forget
written down.
Grief or also the self-titled is really good too. So you can't go wrong with either album in case whatever you come across. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
let me know what you think when you come across that, okay?
I will. We had a crazy couple of weeks where we had a pipe bust because of how cold it was.
Oh no.
So we had a mess in the basement, and then we had to take our
Oh,
cat to the vet, and
that's
there
right.
was a lot of things that we had
I
to
totally understand that. Yeah. Well, I
work
just
on.
got back from a trip to, from Utah and I was working with the Air Force
Yeah.
for a week. So, so yeah, we're all just kind of scattered around. So yeah, we'll make up for lost time here. All right. So I guess we'll then move on to our subject of this podcast, which this week is why is it cool to shit on Metallica, who are considered who are considered the Taylor Swift of metal? So now I have my reasons for shitting on Metallica. So, but I was curious about because when you and I talked about the subject, you seemed to get really excited about this, and I thought you were getting ready to like write an essay on this whole thing.
Oh,
So when we first talked about it, so can you give me like insight on why you feel, why do you feel like it's cool to shit on Metallica? Or maybe you don't think
I
it's cool to shit on Metallica. How do you feel about this?
yeah, it's interesting because I think a lot of it has to do with people um just wanting to have something negative to say. Like that's the
Yeah,
metalhead way,
yeah, I
right?
agree with that.
It's like, oh, this fucking sucks, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I had this one friend in high school, this guy was a metalhead, and he nothing was good except like a few records here and there, but I mean, I don't know, it just seemed like to be like you had to have that aspect of the personality where you just said that fucking sucks. I think that kind of partly drives it, but you know you can't have this discussion without acknowledging the elephant in the room, which is how much their style changed
Oh yeah.
when Bob Rock took over for the Black Album.
Right. Yeah, that was a big shift.
So what I'll say is this. Uh, I went to my buddy's funeral, the guy who was our vocalist in Sarcophagy back in like 2013.
Yeah.
And the morning after that, while I was out there in Indiana, a bunch of us met up at this like little podunk little cafe to have breakfast. And we had breakfast, and it was like one of these local places where you could get like grits and
Hmm.
sausage, gravy, and all this.
Hmm.
And we just like came out of this place. Everyone's stomach was like fucking out to here. And there was a bench, I remember, in the front, and a couple of us sat down, a couple of people was standing. There was like 6 or 7 of us. And all of a sudden, this discussion broke out. And I
Oh,
don't remember how it started. And I said, how interesting. Now you're going to hear some real fucking talk by some real metalheads. And it was Tony was there, the bass player. Ryan Saylor was there, who was the other guitar player, one of the other guitar players on the Sarcophagy album, but he was also in Gorgasm with Tony for a period of time.
oh wow.
And I think Aaron was there, who was our other original guitarist, and I don't know if our drummer was there or not, but Kyle Chrisman was there, and he was the newer drummer. So we had this like 20-minute long conversation about Metallica and the direction that they ended up going in and how it alienated so many OG fans.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And it was just like cool to listen to how everybody had their own frame of reference to how it affected them to see that change.
Were they supportive or not, or was it sort of divided?
It was kind of a mixed bag. Nobody came straight out and said, "Oh, I really like what they've been doing lately." It's, because you can't keep making the same music for years and years. There was an acknowledgement of that.
Mm.
How could you expect the band to be the same, uh,
For every album, for every album.
style, the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
level of aggressiveness and speed,
Right.
album after album after album, and people change and their views on life change, so that when you have a Metallica album coming out in 2005, you're not going to have the same frame of reference about life. So you literally can't write the same kind of songs.
Right.
I mean,
Totally.
you kind of force it and make it happen, but it's not where your heart's at anymore, which is like the emotion is a big ingredient of it.
Yeah,
So
100%. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, everybody had pretty much the same consensus that once the Black Album came out, those were like really the last good riffs that they made.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that I there's an album of theirs. It's not Load. It's
Reload?
not Saint Anger.
Oh, not singing. Okay.
It's a after that. It's a one of the
Oh,
more
Death Magnetic.
Death Magnetic. And a
Yeah.
buddy of mine gave me a copy of it, and I said, "Damn, this is pretty damn good."
Yeah, it's like I think that was their there was if you listen to it, it sounds like a Return to Justice. If you
It's
listen to like the riffs and stuff and like the drum, it sounds like that same kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah. No,
And
it's a solid record.
yeah.
So it would have been cool if that would have came out right after the Black Album,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
before they started messing with like orchestral arrangements
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
playing, with a whole different class of musicians. Um, I thought that was very courageous of them to do that, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, for
Was
sure.
it the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra?
Oh yeah, no, that was cool. That was a cool performance actually. The symphony
Yeah,
did. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
they'll always have a huge place in my heart, because I mentioned in a previous episode that the first real heavy song I heard was Disposable Heroes.
Right on. Yeah.
So if you write a song like that, you can do no wrong in my mind. You can do shit that I don't really care for, but you'll
You
always
you
be
always have that. Yeah.
fucking true. You're always going to be Metallica.
Yeah, for sure.
What do
Yeah.
you think about it?
Well, I don't know. I go back and forth on them a little bit. Like I have my same sort of conclusions I've drawn. I've been there with them, since the beginning, really. I saw them with Cliff. So
You
that was
mentioned
something.
that.
Yeah, I saw them on the Monsters of Rock tour, and they were part of that tour, and they were touring for Puppets at the time. So
Good God,
I
man.
saw them I saw them just before he died.
Oh,
So I just caught that moment.
he
Uh,
was at his peak,
he
at
was
his prime,
totally,
and
yeah,
we were all robbed
yeah, totally,
for that
100%.
stupid fucking
That
accident.
stupid bus, yeah. So I had that pleasure of seeing them, and then I had seen them on Justice and like a couple times on the Black Album tour. So I've seen them like 5 or 6 times now. So I do love the band, but I guess I'm a little bit more OG. I like the Black Album a lot, and you're right, it was this departure and this move over to more like a mainstream thing. Because if you
Yeah.
look at the phases of their career, when I saw them, they were just kind of starting to get big, but then Justice took it up here, but then the
Well,
Black Album took it up there to like the
yeah.
stratosphere.
Yep.
So, and that's where they kind of crossed over and they became more mainstream and things like that. And this is where I had a problem with them because when I started seeing interviews, it was mainly Lars, and I think a lot of it was going to his head because he
Mhm.
was doing stuff like they were doing like they did one of their songs was on like a Mission Impossible soundtrack, and he was like hanging out with Tom Cruise and shit like that. And one of
Uh,
the things that somebody said to them about just them being a metal band, one of the things that really bummed me out was that Lars said, "Well, we were never a metal band," and I'm like,
oh, he
"What?"
said that?
Yeah, he said that. I saw the interview with when he said that. And he was like, "We were never a metal band." I was like, "What the hell are you talking about? Your name's Metallica." So, I mean, that was one of those things where his personality was kind of getting in the way, his ego was kind of getting in the way. And that was one of the things that kind of started to sour me on the band. So, and then I saw some kind of monster, and I thought that was just like, I don't know if you saw that or not, but that was like,
No.
it just really shined through in terms of his personality. But then James was kind of a dick in that too.
Is that the one
And
where they were like in therapy?
yeah, it's just the whole thing is kind of a mess. And they were making Saint Anger at the time, and that album was horrible. And so it's just one of those things that between all that, I just was starting to get the sour taste in my mouth. And I didn't like Load and Reload were okay, but that's where I felt they were kind of crossing. We're getting too mainstreamy. I did like the idea of them experimenting. I don't think there's anything wrong with the change in style.
Yeah,
But when you're sitting there going, well, we're not a metal band and we never were, and then you're trying to like do all these like more commercial covers and stuff, I'm like, it's kind of sellouty to me. And that's
yeah,
kind of where it started to cross the line that I couldn't like get past. But then I thought Medic was interesting, but one of the things I thought about when I listened to that album, reminded me a lot of Justice, and I was wondering if they were trying to recapture an integrity that they thought they had lost.
mm,
Because if you think about Justice, that I mean, that really elevated them. But the musicianship on there, now the mix is shit. Now we know because Lars pulled back on the bass on it. But I
yep,
mean, it's a classic album. It's like one of those albums that you study as far as if you're going to study metal history. It's one of the albums you study for sure, right?
mhm,
So, and all the songs on there are amazing. But at the same time, though, there was like they had a lot of integrity then, and I think
yes,
that started to slip on them a little bit with the Black Album, just because of the commercial crossover. But then it really slipped when they got the Load and Reload, and then it seemed like they were trying to recapture something to me when they went back to Death Magnetic. Now, I don't know if that's true or there's any truth to that or not. It just felt my interpretation of it, and it made
yeah,
me question about like, well, why are they doing this? Are they doing just to show off, just show us that they could do it anymore, or do they really mean it? So that's what I
right,
couldn't. That's what I was listening to that album. It just kind of felt like it felt kind of like formulaic in a way, like they were writing because they thought that that's what they had to write, not because that's what they wanted to write. Because those guys
mm,
aren't that angry anymore. They're
no,
rich. They got, they got everything that they want. They
right,
can do whatever they want.
right,
So they don't have that same hunger that they had when they, 30 years ago. So I was just wondering if they were trying to recapture that. Now, I can't say I've heard the new album at all. I just haven't cared to listen to it, which is
uh,
sad for me to say because it's like I kind of don't give a shit. But
yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at with them in terms of like, there's a lot of other stuff I want to listen to. I only have so much time during the day, so I'll probably listen to it at some point. But I can't say I was particularly compelled to listen to the new album. Not
yeah,
because I wanted to shit on Metallica, because there is this thing about, you're right. I think there is something about people trying to find the negative in things. And they're rich and famous, and we want to tear people down or whatever,
right,
especially when they act like assholes. But that wasn't really the point. I was just kind of like bored with them, I guess, or just uninterested. Yeah, I don't
mhm,
know how else to describe it. It's not some like I have some sort of loathing for them, but I just wasn't that interested.
yep,
So,
they
which
lost you.
I guess it is. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Because I'd rather go check out the new Megadeth because I'm more interested in that right now. And then
Yep,
of course all the stuff we've been talking about. And there's like I
yep,
have like a list of albums like this long that I want to go buy and go explore. And
yep.
that's where I'm at right now. But Metallica is not on that list. So
It's interesting theory that you have because essentially what you're speaking to is like they're coming full circle potentially
that's what I was
to
thinking.
more of a roots-based approach to writing metal music.
Yeah.
Um, and the point that you brought up about Lars is actually one of the points that came up in that conversation so many years ago with me and those guys out over in
Oh, okay.
Indiana that he is a primary reason why uh there's so much angst about I wish they were still cool so I could still listen to them, but because they suck now, I have to trash on them. And it's because of Lars, and
Lars, yeah.
I don't know, his drumming is just like there's been people like that have joked they should have he should have been the one that died,
Oh.
right? Or at least
Oh.
replaced.
Yeah, right. Right.
Like what I've read so many people say the same thing. How if only we could have held on to Cliff so they could have let go of Lars
Yeah.
because the other thing that these buddies of mine said, and this is a very cogent point, that if Cliff was still alive, they never would have gone in the direction they ended up going.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% they would have stayed true to much closer to the hardcore metal roots.
Yeah.
Cliff was a huge punk fan.
Oh, totally. Yeah, 100%.
So, if anything, if they were going to make a change, maybe they would have made a change towards a more punk-based
Yeah, more radical
approach.
style. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not saying they would
That
have
would have been
become,
interesting. That would have been really interesting to hear that direction.
yeah. I don't think it would have been Green Day. I think it would have been something else
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
had a
Like
classical
more like
influence to it.
Misfits or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I can hear
yeah.
that. More
The guy
thrash
was a
or
savant.
punkier. Yeah, totally. Oh my God, his bass like Whiplash and stuff when he plays, he's just like a monster on that bass, man.
Mhm.
Dude's incredible. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess there's a lot of opinions about shitting on Metallica, so we'll just have to see where that goes. All right. So, now I guess we'll move on to metal news.
Bring it.
Okay, so speaking of Metallica, I was reading that Dave Mustaine, of course, the new Megadeth, the last Megadeth, is out now, and I was reading that Dave Mustaine wants Megadeth to tour with Metallica as a way to kind of bring this whole again, you talked about full circle. It's kind of like he said that, and I read that he said that Dave Mustaine thinks that touring with Metallica would make everything right between him and James and Lars. So, so what do you think about that? Do you think they should tour together? What do you think of
It's too late for that shit.
that?
It's too late. Too late, Dave. Sorry. You spent too many years bitching and moaning,
Oh my
turning a
God.
lot of people off with your constant harangues about, oh, because James did that and then Lars did blah, blah, blah." I mean, if by some crazy fucking chance Dave were to see this, he would understand. I wouldn't regret saying it because, I love him to death, but God, you have to be such a douchebag.
Well,
No, I mean, really, man.
no,
Like,
no, true. I mean, totally true. He's been bitching about this for what, 30 years or whatever the hell it is now, and he's still talking about it. I
I know.
mean, which is crazy to me that he at this point still hasn't let it go when they are clearly their own. Now they're not like Metallica big or whatever, but I mean they've done stadiums and they're a big working band and they made millions of dollars or whatever. He's
Yep.
fine. So for him to be so bitter about this still, I mean, that says a lot about him, I think.
It does, and the wording that you used in describing, I guess his motivation
Yeah.
to do this is so that everything could, be smoothed out. Is that what the way that you
I
kind of
get, well, he said make everything right, which I
make
don't,
everything right?
yeah, I
Right.
don't know what that means though.
I don't trust the reason why I don't think it should happen is because of that specific wording.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
if he really was all about like, let's bury the hatchet, let's just go out and have a good fucking time
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's how it would come out in a press release. I
Totally.
want to tour with my friends that, I'm glad we rekindled our friendship and we're going to go out and just slay every audience we can. That's what you fucking say. You don't say,
Totally.
well, I'm going to make it, things will be made right.
Yeah, I
Who are
don't know if
you to
that
decide that?
yeah, I don't know if that if they think if he thinks Metallica owes him something or what. Now, interesting the kind of piggyback on that, of course, Megadeth also covered Ride the Lightning.
Very well, I might add.
Yes, so they did. I thought so too. So yeah, I really liked it because when I listened to it, I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It was
So
tight. It was heavy. The only thing I
totally.
didn't like about it is his vocals on
Right.
the chorus. The
Totally.
vocals on the chorus are
Or
weak.
little, yeah, yeah, but the guitar is ripping, man. I thought it was really good.
It
But that
fucking
was,
ruled.
and of course he's credited as writing that riff in the first place, which is why they covered it. So it's one of those things where he's still like even with their songs now, it's kind of like now he's doing like Metallica song on top of all this.
Right.
So he's really, I don't know, really leaning into this like ownership of like them owning him owing him something
Yeah.
or something from the past, which I'm kind of like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think he needs to let that shit go.
It feels kind of like he almost wants to be saying, "You guys know that I have ownership in this, right?
Yeah, yeah, right, right,
I still have some ownership with you guys, right?" And
right.
it feels like sleazy.
It's a little, uh, Yeah, it's definitely a little like bitter feeling and
Yeah,
kind of, you know what I mean? So like a
yeah.
yeah, it's just not a good. It's a kind
I
of
could see him throwing
it's
a
a
fit.
it's a
If
little
it doesn't go
desperate.
according to plan, I could easily see him being like, well, fuck those guys. I had a great idea and they went and fucked it all up.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It just feels a little bitter and desperate in some
Yeah,
ways.
I
So let's,
agree. I
so
agree. And you know what? It's if they could pull it off,
that would
Godspeed.
be, oh my God, that would be a hell of a tour. That would be a
Metallica
great
and
tour.
Megadeth.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be huge, man. That would be amazing if they could pull that off. So
Uh-huh.
yeah, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I
The
haven't heard.
last tour ever.
Well, I haven't heard anything back from Metallica about that, so I don't know. I don't know
All
what the
right.
response has been.
Stay tuned.
Okay, so now another piece of news I saw was Alice in Chains temporarily changed their name for the sake of PETA to
Yeah.
help out with a disabled elephant, which I
Yeah.
thought was pretty cool. That was an interesting. So they changed the name to Betty in Chains for a
Yeah.
month. So for a month. So they did that to, of course, turn up the volume. They say here on the plight of the elderly elephant, so
Yes.
who spent her life in chains. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. I mean, look at all these. It's crazy that we've lived through a time where there's been a recognition that circuses, things that I don't know if have you been? Have you ever been as a kid?
I think it was as a kid. Yeah, I don't really remember it too well, but I kind of remember something
Yeah,
about
I
that.
a couple times back in the 70s,
Yeah, yeah,
parents
yeah,
took
something
us
like that. Yeah,
past the
exactly.
Coliseum. It stunk because of all the animals.
Right, right.
But and of course, as a kid, you're entertained. But like, I can't believe we've actually come to the point where we acknowledge, hey, it's really not cool to have all of these exotic animals frolicking around for our delight.
Caged up and yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's for a good cause. I'm not a PETA person. I'm not. I'm an
Yeah,
animal rights person.
yeah, yeah. I got you. Yeah,
But
PETA gets a little extreme for sure.
so
So
I think
I
it's a
agree
good
with that.
idea.
Yeah,
So did they actually do it?
yeah, they actually did it. So they actually did it for about a month. They were promoting on social media and things like that. It drew a lot of attention. So that was, that was kind of nice. And it was, and of course, it was also like sort of a PSA to stay away from like animal abusing circuses,
Right, right,
stuff
right,
like
right,
that.
right.
So yeah. So I
I'm
thought that
totally
was,
behind.
what's that?
I'm totally behind that.
Yeah, me too, 100%. So I just thought that was kind of a cool, and they just kind of like, they just did that for about a month. So that was, I thought that was a cool
Yeah.
idea.
There's
But yeah,
no harm, no foul with doing
no,
that.
I don't think so. I mean, sometimes bands get wrapped up in causes and sometimes they get preachy about it. Like
Uh,
I get you two kind of gets on my nerves with that a little bit sometimes. So,
yeah.
but I like the band, but they get a little they get up their own ass a little bit, I think sometimes. And then, but with this, I thought it was a cool way to kind of like put their egos aside with their name for a minute and then
Uh-huh.
kind of, and then bring attention to this element. So
Sure.
I thought that was a cool article.
If I was in that band, I would have had no problem with doing it. Uh, the only potential issue I foresee is if PETA comes back to them again in the future for some a similarly related issue
Oh yeah.
for their support on it, and then they're going to have to draw a line and be like, "Now look,
There's only so many
we
times we could
helped
change
you
the
out.
name and yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
we're not into the co-branding idea of PETA channels and
And now it's going to be can you change your name? It's going to be Alex in Chains, and then it's going to be
right,
Buddy in Chains, and then it's like no,
right,
you got to stop here
right.
somewhere. So yeah. So did you have anything else in music news?
Um, no,
No, that's it.
that's it. No.
Okay. All right, which means that it is time to move on to our album review. Which is, of course, you picked it this for this episode, and it is. Go ahead, tell us what it is and why you picked it.
So there is the curse of the sophomore album that is often discussed, where it you have such a good initial album when there's a lot of concern at record labels are they going to be able to pull that same feat off a second
Again,
time?
again, yeah,
So hot off the heels of touring for the album Facelift, Alice in Chains comes out with Dirt,
yep.
1992, cementing its place in the pantheon of early 90s Seattle oriented grunge.
Right on.
And they knocked it out of the fucking park with this record.
So Alice in Chains Dirt is the album we're reviewing this
Mm,
episode. Yeah. Yeah.
mm.
Again, you picked one that I saw them with Lane in like
Ah,
92. Yep, I had the honor of seeing them with they were co-headlining Lollapalooza with Primus.
that's where I saw him.
So okay, well, we were at the same show. So there it is.
Deer Creek.
Oh, no, I was in Philly.
Oh, okay, right, right,
Yeah, I was
right.
at the
So
Philly show. Okay, so yeah,
yeah,
I was
yeah,
at the Philly show where Rage Against the Machine got naked.
yeah.
Did you hear about that?
No.
I was pissed because I was so pissed because I was there. Part of the big reason why I wanted that show was Rage Against the Machine. They
Yeah,
just come out, Killing in the Name of was crushing it.
yeah,
They were everywhere, and I was so psyched to see them. Now I want to see Alice in Chains. I want to see Primus. It was a great lineup, right?
yeah.
So I want to see other bands, but they were like my top. They were like the band. I was there. Couldn't wait to see them. So they played like second or third or something. They were because they were such a young band at that point.
Yes.
So, but what they were told before, because other bands had been swearing apparently like before they started their thing, so they were told that they could not swear. They said, "Look, you guys can't swear when you go on stage," which is absurd to tell to anybody. But what they
I
did
think
was,
that's got to be staged, given the
oh,
chorus of
well, what happened was in response to them telling them being told that they can't swear, they all came out, Rage Against the Machine. They all came out naked, standing there with their hands over their privates, and they had PMRC written across their chests and taped across their mouths.
oh wow.
Now, which I thought was awesome. The part that I didn't think was awesome was they stood there for about 15 minutes with like feedback coming through the speakers, and then they just left. They didn't play at all.
Oh, you
At
serious?
all. I was so pissed because I was like, cool, make your political statement, but don't shit on the fans and not play
Yeah,
anything. They didn't play
yeah,
one song. They just left. And then the rest of the band spent all day swearing anyway. So it made zero difference. So it
yeah.
was one of those things that they were told to do that. But anyway, so yeah,
Oh
I
man.
know, I was so pissed. So anyway, but I saw them naked, so I don't know if that means anything or not. But if I ever run into Tom Morello, I'm telling him he owes me a show. I'm gonna say, dude, you owe me a show, man. I'm sorry. I drove 2 fucking hours to see you guys, and you stood there
Right,
naked, and all that's all you did, and then you fucking left, and that's all I got out of it. So I'm pissed because I spent the money,
right.
time, and now I wanted to see all these other bands too. But I'm just saying, I was really there. They were one of my top bands to see, and I was so pissed.
Make sure you slip in that he needs to get that mole checked.
All right, so I got a little off the side there, but yeah, let's head back to the album here.
Yeah,
So yeah, now I was taking notes here. So I have notes now too because I want to be professional like you when I grow up. So I got my notes here. So
great.
so
Excellent.
all right. So do you want to go first with your notes, or should I go, or do you want to just go back and forth?
Oh, no, please take it away.
Okay. All right. So yeah, this album was one of my like really important albums at that time that it came out. So this I'd listened to this thing constantly. So
Oh,
when you said this album, I was like, I know it already. I didn't have to listen to it. I could have reviewed it without even listening to it. That's how much I've listened to this
nice.
thing. So just breaking down some of the songs, then Bones, of course, is how it starts. I like how that song starts. It's really sludgy when it starts, and you feel like it's going to be heavy, which it is. But then when his vocals come in, he's got this kind of like soaring harmony thing that he does over top of that kind of sludgy guitar stuff. So it's got this
Yeah,
really interesting contrast between sort of soaring and being sort of down in the sludgy end of it.
yeah.
And I wrote down the word sloring,
Huh.
which is a combination of sludgy and soaring. So sloring. was-
Flooring.
so yeah. I don't know if
If
that's good
anybody
wording.
could have that label, it's him.
So yeah. And then of course it goes into Damn the River, Damn That River, which is
Yep.
this really cool dirty blues riff. I love that just na 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 and it's just like that whole, just the way they just lean into it. It's just
That
like
song's heavy as fuck.
oh my God, so good. Such a heavy, dirty blues riff. And then Rain When I Die. I like the way it starts. It's got this slow, dark, sort of menacing vibe to it, right? And
Yep.
it kind of builds from there.
Yep.
So I really love that a lot. Down in the Hole is probably my favorite song on this album. I know every word to this album, to this song. I can just sing it straight up without even having to look at the lyrics. And it's because at the time it came out, I was manic depressive. I was dealing a lot with depression at the time, and I could just completely relate to everything and every word in that song. Now he was going through like this whole heroin trip, and he had a lot of problems with depression and heroin.
Yep.
But I didn't have the heroin part, but I had the depression part. So that whole thing, I was completely self-identifying with that whole song from beginning to end. I know every word in that song. Rooster, I thought was a really powerful, beautiful song dedicated to Vietnam soldiers, which I don't know if a lot of people
Yes.
know about that.
Yes.
So just love that part. The lyrics are really just powerful and interesting, and when he talks about Gloria, send me pictures of my boy, just shit like that. Then he talks about the relationship of a soldier coming back from Vietnam, which
Which
just super
that's
powerful, man.
crazy to me because like you wouldn't expect him to be able to speak to that perspective.
Right, totally.
He did so beautifully.
Oh my God. It was just, yeah. So I don't know if his father was a Vietnam soldier or whatever that was, where the connection was, but yeah, he's got that tie-in with that, and it seems like it's very personal.
Yeah.
But he obviously wasn't old enough to be in Vietnam, but because he was around our age, but it was something that, just obviously he's got a tight, understanding of that. So I thought that was really interesting. Junkhead feels like a bad heroin experience. So just kind of, it feels like you're right in the middle of
Yeah.
like shooting a shitty heroin load and then kind of like dealing with it. You know what I mean? So it's like, blah, blah. It's just kind of like, it's got that really droning kind of like, oh my God, feels like laborious to listen to, but it's still a good song. It just feels like you have to put in some work to listen to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You do
So
have to work at the listening part with that song. Yeah.
I like how Dirt starts with that Middle Eastern kind of twang that he does.
Yes.
It's not like a sitar, but it sounds like he's playing like a sitar. It's very snaky, with how that
Hypnotic
starts.
opening riff.
Totally. So I love that. And then of course, what is the classic, just like that whole tribal drumming thing and the way he's kind of layers his vocals on top of it. Just
Yep.
like, one of the best songs ever. So, but I'll
It
shut
goes
up.
from the crazy intro to like open metal
Oh,
territory.
totally. Yeah, and it's that slow dun, 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 and then it kind of keeps building. Then all of a sudden it's just ba-na-na-na-na-na. It's got this like giant thing that unleashes on you after you're just kind of like building up to it.
It
And you're like,
becomes a monster.
oh, yeah, it just kind of just punch in the face after you're kind of just settling into it. And you're like, oh, this is kind of this cool groove. Then all of a sudden, bam,
Yes.
when he breaks into the chorus. So yeah, it's just huge song. So I'm gonna shut up and now it's your turn.
Oh, uh, well, my the overall comment I have on here is like a dirtier, meaner version of Guns N' Roses with first rate production.
And a much better singer.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Axl wasn't that bad on
He wasn't.
Appetite.
Right, right, right.
It's just it's totally it's in a different class
Yeah,
of
totally,
vocal.
100%.
Uh, Them Bones, a brutal opening,
Hmm.
smacked up by the vocals.
Hmm.
The solo is mean as fuck. It fucks me up. Damn that river. I have America. Fuck yeah. That song again. I mean, we're both on the same page about that. It
See,
picks up
uh,
where
uh,
Skinner left off.
oh, interesting. And by the way, I have to say I appreciate your Team America reference.
Oh, cool.
So just I
Well,
had to throw that out there. America, fuck yeah. So I'm just saying.
it was the first thing I thought of. America, fuck
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. The song. Oh, here's this. This is the song you ask your wife to strip to.
Which song was that? Damn that river.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
I speak the truth. Maybe in a little while. Uh,
Interesting thought. I might have to talk to my wife about
there you go.
that.
Rain When I Die
Oh, yeah.
with the appropriate grunge introduction, killer verse riff, melodic chorus riff, 6/8 time.
Mm.
It was bizarre. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's right.
interesting odd time
They
signatures on this
do they
record.
do some time signature stuff in there. Yeah, totally. 100%.
Look at the opening riff to the album. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah,
9, 10.
yeah.
It was 11, 12. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
Maybe some of our theory-oriented listeners can chime in with what,
With what that is.
yeah, identify what that is. Down in a Hole, Sad, of course, an undeniable groove, uh, a veritable orgy of guitar tone
Mm.
in the verse riff, and powerful vocals of sadness.
Ooh,
I
that's
mean,
good.
it's he gets deep on that.
He does.
He really pulls a lot of emotion into it. Sick Man, a weird song like a worm that digs into your brain. These guys were leading the pack of rock in '92. Fight Me. Uh, Jerry Cantrell and Jerry, his solo.
Yeah,
Heads up, BB King.
100%.
The Rooster is iconic, timeless, priceless in the modern era. Sick tone, bro.
Yeah, holds up, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, let's see. Godsmack, the verse riff, not too far from death metal, is it? If you
Mm.
listen to the verse riff, and you just, ignore the vocals,
Yeah.
it's kind of almost like a death metal riff.
Interesting. Interesting.
Ugly chorus that I don't care for. Is it trying to be funk?
Oh. Which song was that?
That was on Godsmack.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
To me, that's the low point of the album, if there even is one.
If there is one, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I mean, the last two songs I think do deserve to be mentioned. Angry Chair
Mm.
represents this album. It makes you think of the year 1992.
Oh, I think that's fair. Yeah.
When I listen to
Of
that
the
song, I
it's like
feel
of
like
the
I'm transported back.
it's like of that era for
Oh,
sure.
totally.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
It has a very eerie cult like summoning in the verse riff.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And then we move to the closer, which is Wood, right?
Yep.
Holy fucking shit. It's an anthem of singles.
Ooh, that's a good way to describe it. An anthem of yeah, I like that a lot. That's
I
good.
remember going to see that movie, Singles, when it
Oh
first
yeah,
came
yeah, yeah,
out
totally. Yeah.
at a movie theater that closed, I don't know, within a year afterwards. But it was the only movie theater we had on campus at Purdue, and the movie theater was packed with people
Right on.
because I mean it was a fucking movement back then.
Yeah, it
Grunge was
was.
like a
100%.
whole lifestyle that had
Oh,
taken everything. Oh, flannel
big
was
time.
everywhere.
Flannel. I was gonna say there's flannel everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So uh the absolute pinnacle of songwriting, of rock music songwriting,
Mm.
and absolutely murderous vocals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good description.
Mic drop for that.
Nice.
That's a that really it's I could see that we both listened to that record
Oh,
quite a lot.
oh, yeah. More times than I can count.
They
That's
have good
when
albums after this.
oh yeah, like I like the new singer a lot. I really like him a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the Devil Put Dinosaurs Here is one of my top 10 albums like of all time. It's such a good
really.
album. Oh my God. Yeah, have you listened to the albums with the new singer?
Only one.
Which one? Okay.
Black Gives Way to Blue.
Oh yeah, that's actually the first. I think the first one with him. That's a
The
good
first one with
album.
William. Yeah,
That's a good album. But when you get a chance, try to listen to The Devil Put the Dinosaurs Here. That's like that album is just like every song on there. It reminds me of Dirt, with the way it's just like every
wow.
song is good. Yeah. The one after that was not quite as good, but it's still a solid album. But yeah, the new singer's really good. I just wish that they'd get back in the damn studio and do something, do another album now.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they're both out. Like I think Jerry's doing some touring and the singer's touring on his own a little bit. So I don't know what they're doing right now musically. But I guess we'll see. But yeah, good
cool.
choice, man. Cannot
Rock
go wrong.
on.
Alice in Chains Dirt. Check that out if you have not done so. It's one of those albums you have to add to the collection. It's just part of the collection. Just the way it goes. All right. So that means we are on to the Mystery Band, and it was your pick this week. To now, what we do, of course, just to remind everybody, is we each when we do the Mystery Band of the week, one of us picks a band to turn on the other person to that they have hopefully not heard yet, and yeah, that's what we're doing. And you had the pick this week of the Mystery Band. So who are you turning me on to this week?
Um, I'll be shocked if you know this one.
Okay.
It's called In This Life, and the band's name is Mordred.
I think I've heard of the band, but I definitely do not know them at all. Hold on, let me write this down. Okay, now Mordred and what was the name of the album? In
In
This
This
Life?
Life.
In This Life. Okay.
Believe it was 91.
Okay. In This Life. Now, what is making you pick them?
They were interesting in that they had a turntablist
Oh, back in
before anybody.
91.
Yeah,
Really? Interesting.
they were like one of the first, if not the
What
first, funk metal.
was it? Were they like scratching and stuff, or what were they
Yeah,
doing? Oh, is that right? No shit.
yeah,
Okay, I was sure they were playing backtracks or something, but no,
yeah.
they
No,
weren't.
there's
So they're
an
scratching.
actual instrumentalist doing the scratching
No shit.
in time with the music.
What's the style of how would you label the music then of
Oh,
Mordred?
it's definitely metal.
Okay, but like rap metal kind of stuff, like Rage
It
Against the
doesn't
Machine style, or is it
kind of,
more?
yeah. It
Okay.
I would say like Rage is probably an evolution of this
Oh,
because it's got great, fantastic guitar playing.
oh, interesting.
Um, yeah, and there is some spots on it that are quite heavy. Um,
Like
not every
American,
song on it is.
like a U.S. band.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
think they might be from California. I
Okay.
don't remember where they're from, but I bought the tape and I forgot to bring the cassette down here, so you're gonna have to throw up a
Okay. Well, yeah,
picture of
we'll
the
plug something up there for
cover.
you. Yeah.
It covers the
Bad
cover's
cover.
weird. It's weird, man. It's got this weird shit on the one side, which like should have been the whole cover, but then the second half of the is some guy just going, and it looks like a $5 footlong moment right there. Right.
So what compelled you to pick them? Was there something special about them, or just in general their style, or what was it?
Well, we talk about a lot of, anything that has distortion here. So
Yeah, of course.
uh, I had heard, I found them because they played one of the songs on WSOU.
Oh,
Um,
okay. So you heard them on SOU first.
yeah, and
Gotcha.
it's the first song on side B, which is called "Falling Away," and it
Okay.
has this. It's the best song on the album, basically, and it's got this beautiful 12-string acoustic guitar introduction.
Hmm.
And I said, "Wow, this is really groovy." And then, like all of a sudden, the music kicks in, the drums kick in, it gets really fucking heavy. And
Are
I'm
the,
like, oh, "This
are
is
the,
cool."
does the vocalist rap or does he sing or both or what?
No, it's there. The vocals are actually sung.
Oh,
And
they are.
there are
Okay.
parts where it's like more spoken than it's sung.
Okay. So back and
And
forth a little bit.
yeah, they go back and forth with that. But what the vocals are actually quite good when he does sing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just one album, or do they have other albums out?
I don't know. I bought the album and I mean, this, I don't love every song on the record, but
Okay.
it's just like, it's an interesting thing to listen to when you consider the fact that it kind of spawned this whole genre 10 years later of all of
Totally.
this record scratching behind heavy guitars.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
This goes back to like 91 before Limp Bizkit and all that stuff.
Sure, sure.
So I don't know. And they had the look of a metal band too.
Okay. So they were like
Um,
one of the first like rap metal bands, really, then.
yeah, yeah. And I know there were other,
Stuck
what,
Mojo and yeah.
yeah, like funk metal.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That guy was a couple years after that. So, but this was just like, it was revolutionary to me at the time to hear, because all I was listening to was Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer,
Oh, yeah, that would stand out as like
Testament.
out of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah. So
Some
I
hip hop influence in there.
definitely, check it out. See
Okay.
if you like it.
All right, Mordred in This Life. Okay, so I
Got
would check that out. All right, that moves us over to talking about live shows and tours that are coming up. Um, I saw there's some controversy to this one, but Rob Zombie is going to be touring with Marilyn Manson, and apparently some of the fans are kind of pissed about that because of Marilyn Manson's recent issues with some of his accusers, the whole sexual assault
Oh,
stuff.
oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. So, would that prevent you from going to see them?
No.
No. Yeah, I don't know. He was kind of acquitted of that, so I don't know how much truth there was to it. But I don't know, man. If you're gonna date Marilyn Manson, you're kind of signing up for something weird in the first place, I think. Not to
I
discount
don't
any of the
you
women's stuff or anything. I'm just anything the women said, but I'm just
hello?
saying, yeah.
Don't you know what you're getting involved with him?
I know, right? I don't know how anybody could date him, really. So, yeah, he
I mean,
seemed
I
like a
wouldn't go
scary
to see
dude.
it. I wouldn't go to see it because I'm not a fan of his music,
Yeah.
but I am a White Zombie fan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, me too.
I've
So
seen them before, so I didn't even
that,
know they were still around.
yeah, that sounds like it's a really good. Well, it's actually Rob Zombie. It's not White Zombie.
Oh,
It's
right.
it's right. It's his solo thing. So
I keep forgetting about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that sounds like a pretty solid tour. Rob Zombie and Marilyn Manson. I mean, for what they seem like, that's a good match. That'd be a good
Yeah, I
fight.
wouldn't kick it out of bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit.
Did you see that also? The Milwaukee Metal Fest is coming up in August.
I
Uh,
did.
and then also or I'm sorry, no, May, and then
It's May, yeah.
the Summer of '99 festival is also coming up in July.
Yeah.
And the Milwaukee Metal Fest has a pretty good lineup here, like Acid Bath, Killswitch Engage, Ministry, Napalm Death, John Bush. I mean, the list goes on. Suicidal Tendencies, Machine Head,
Yep.
Death Angels in there. They have a lot of classic metal bands in here, and then also some newbies too. But it's a pretty eclectic lineup.
Yeah.
So between like and Napalm Death is playing twice, so they're playing twice. They're playing Saturday and Sunday the way it looks. But
Really?
then, yeah, yeah, and then also they have some newer death metal bands like Wada, and also but then they also have Prong in there,
Yeah.
Hyrax going old school thrash here,
Yeah. Wow.
stuff like that, which is crazy. And then of course some newer bands in there too. But then I also see Green Jelly in the lineup.
Green Jelly.
Oh my God. So but
That goes back 35 years.
totally, but Masters in there, Nunslaughter. So I mean it's a pretty big it looks like it's a pretty decent lineup here overall.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did you have a chance to look at it?
Yeah. And I recognized a couple of the acts that I've seen before. One of them is what are they called? Visceral Disgorge.
Oh, right on. I don't know
Uh,
them.
eh,
What are they like?
they're brutal as fuck death metal.
Right
It's
on.
it's 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 basically slam death in its highest form.
Okay,
And I
cool.
got to see them about 12, 13 years ago, and they
Uh,
just destroyed the crowd.
right on. Very
I
cool.
went out, I mean, it's rare that I actually, after a concert, go right out and buy someone's album, and
Yeah,
I did that for them.
right on.
So, but the other one that I recognize that I actually haven't seen is Castrator.
Oh, yeah, I don't know them either. Castrator.
Castrator, they are an all-female death metal band.
No shit. That's a hell of a name.
I
I
think they're
love
from
it.
New York. Yeah.
Right
And
on.
man, are they good.
Right on.
Yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't mind watching them.
Cool.
But yeah, I think it's the first weekend of
It
June.
is June 5th, 6th, 6th, yeah, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Have you ever been
Yeah.
to the Milwaukee Metal Fest?
We played it.
Oh, you played it. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. What, do
Coming up
you
on
remember what year
30
you
years.
guys played it?
96.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I've been to that festival a couple times. I was just wondering if we crossed paths. Um,
Well,
if I
we
was out
walked
there.
around in 93, 94, 95. We
Yeah.
were there just,
Okay.
hanging out. We
Well, you and
didn't.
I were probably at that at thing at the same time at some point.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure we were.
that's
I'm sure we
funny.
were.
Yeah, right on. Okay, so that's going on. And then the
Yeah.
Summer of '99 festival is coming up in July. This one's a little bit more mainstreamy. It's got like for the headliners, it's got Limp Bizkit, which I still can't believe is a headliner right now. But for whatever reason, they're having some crazy resurgence. Them and Cypress Hill are headlining on the 18th, but then they're also playing with like Seven Dust and Kitty. So there's some good bands on that day. The 19th, it's got Creed headlining.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate Creed.
Oh, you hate him.
I can't stand Scott Stamp and his goddamn Jesus Christ poses. He's got to come out like this for every fucking song, shirtless, wearing a big cross and shit. I
Oh,
mean,
he does that?
oh, dude, he does that all the time.
I didn't know that.
Oh man, he's just waiting to be resurrected like Christ or something. I don't know I don't know what his deal is. But yeah, I'm not a big Creed guy.
How
But
funny would it be if what's that phenomenon that led to the whole series of books about how people just disappeared because they were elevated
oh,
and
yeah, like the
taken
uh
away, or
yeah,
what the
yeah,
hell is
yeah.
it called?
Shit, the Rapture.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So how funny would it be if that happened and he was still here?
Yeah, he's going like this, waiting to be raptured. Everybody else is
But
being raptured around
I
him.
opened every shirt like this, every show like this.
But then they
Yeah,
leave him there,
well,
and
but
he's like stuck on a stage like this all by himself. Everybody else is raptured, and there he is.
guys,
It's like, wait a minute, I've been waiting for this my whole life.
sorry, sir, for all that cocaine you did, you missed out.
So it's that day is going to be Creed, Bush, Mammoth. So that's of course Wolfgang.
Eddie's son.
Yep, Wolfgang Van Halen. Which I gotta say, I love that band.
He's good.
I love that. I mean, I can't believe like if you listen to them, have you listened to the Mammoth albums at all? Have you listened to them?
I've heard whatever they played on the radio. I've
Holy
heard.
shit! You know he does everything.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah.
All the instruments he writes, he does everything. Just him, and then
Yep.
he put together a band to tour and stuff. But yeah,
Very talented.
it's incredible. He's so good.
And I'm
So
so glad he's not a carbon copy of his dad.
well, and what I like about him is if you hear interviews with him, he's definitely his own guy, and he's not trying to be his dad at all. And
Yes.
it comes through, and he's also very humble. He kind
Yep.
of realizes he's had pretty much everything handed to him, so he pretty much understands that. And he, of course, he had his dad and his uncle to teach him how to play drums and guitar. And
Yeah.
ironically, he prefers drums.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, he actually prefers to play drums over guitar, which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, so so they're touring too. So yeah, some big stuff going on there.
I would go to
Um,
see Cypress Hill.
I would too. I would actually go, and I've seen Seven Dust more times than I can count, and they're awesome live. Um,
Is Sendog back with Cypress Hill?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I don't know if he's back
Because
with them or not, but
I
they're
went to we went to see them back in like 95, and the girl who told me about the show was saying Sendog is not going to be there because he's no longer with the group.
right.
So
Okay.
it was just the two of them.
Okay. I don't know. I'd have to look up to see if he's back in the mix or not. Do you have any tickets for anything yourself coming up?
Just the Triumph show that's coming up in
Okay.
May,
Okay. I
and
just
Sun
Oh, that's right. Sun is coming. What?
April.
Yeah, they're playing here in Portland too. I might go to that show. But I just got tickets for another band that's coming up in May called they're from Iceland. I don't know how to describe them. I would describe them as like techno industrial black metal. Really avant-garde, very experimental. They're called I don't know if I'm going to get the name wrong here, but they're called Iransi Pazuzu.
You mentioned them last time.
Yeah, I actually know
Yeah,
their manager. Aaron Lynch is somebody I know from back in the day, and she's going to be on tour with them. So hopefully I'll get to talk to her. But yeah, they're really super interesting band from Iceland. So if you get a chance, check them out. Super avant-garde,
right on.
not for the weak of heart for sure. So yeah, because they will just scare the shit out of you with their music. It's very soundtracky and very dark, and just something you would hear like in a probably in like a horror movie made by Dario Argento or something.
Oh,
So
okay.
they
All
would
right.
do like the
Well, that's
soundtrack
kind
for
of
that,
creepy.
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna go check them out in May, and I think that's it. So, did you have anything else you want to add to the mix?
No, sir.
All right. That wraps us up for another episode of the Distortion Analysis. Coming up, we do have an interview with a buddy of mine named Jimmy Mitchell. So we'll be talking about that in one of the upcoming episodes, and we'll see you soon. So, yeah. Thank you for joining us. Please share our podcast with anyone that appreciates heavy music. Be sure to visit our social feeds and drop us a comment with your thoughts on the podcast.